but I don't see you as a participant. Okay, I have two people. All right. Hi, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. I apologize about the delay. I had some technical difficulties that I was working through, so it's a good thing I'm a yoga teacher. Deep breaths. Okay, welcome to this special Mother's Day yoga practice. This is just going to be a nice open level, more beginner level practice. So roll out your mat, maybe grab a couple of blocks if you have them, any other props that you're going to want to use. Please feel free to modify your practice today in any way that suits you. We'll start in a nice comfortable seated position on the mat. You can sit cross-legged, you can sit on your heels. I'm sitting on my heels, but I'm using a block that is between my feet. Hands on the knees. You can either keep the palms turned down or turn the palms face up. And just beginning with your eyes closed. Let's tune out everything off the mat. Start to tune into what's happening in the body. And just simply observing the flow of the breath as it moves in and out through the nose. In and out through the body. And taking your left palm to your heart, take your right palm to your belly. If it feels good to do so, let your chin soften toward your chest. So as you deepen the breath, you'll feel the rise and fall of the belly under the right hand. And maybe catch the beat of your heart under your left hand. All right, these two things, you know, you can always count on them. All right, you can control the breath. And use the rhythm of your beating heart as a way of getting grounded. Right, and using the nice deep breaths to slow everything down, to calm the heartbeat. Right, knowing that these tools are always here for you, right? The breathing, the heartbeat. So tune in when you need to take a moment, let your energy settle, quiet the mind. And if you practice with your Ujjayi breath, start to engage that now. That ocean sounding breath. Let's give it another deep breath or two. And slowly opening up the eyes. Let the arms reach out beside you to the left and to the right, and take your right arm, wrap it under the left. Let your hands reach to opposite shoulders. You can either keep the eyes open here or close the eyes. Just giving yourself a hug. Take another deep breath in. Take another deep breath out. Let the arms reach out again toward the sides. Go the other way. Take the left arm, wrap it under the right. Hands to opposite shoulders. Just switching up the grip and hold. Deep breath in, giving yourself a hug. Exhaling, deep breath out. Let the arms reach out again all the way out toward the sides, and let the hands reach toward the mat. Feel free to open the eyes if they're not already open. Coming onto your hands and knees. Extending your right leg back on the mat. Let your toes tuck into the mat. Your right heel pressing back just enough so you feel the back of the right leg wake up. Let your right heel spin flat on the mat, coming into a modified side plank. Sweep your right arm over. Sweep the right arm all the way forward so your fingertips reach in the same direction as the crown of the head. Let your right foot rest nice and easy. Lower the right hand down to the mat. Lower the right knee. We'll go the other way. Left leg, reach it back with your toes tucked into the mat. Your right heel pressing back nice and easy. Just waking up the back of the leg a little bit. Spin your left heel flat. Keep the foot flat. Sweep the left arm up and over. Again, fingertips reaching toward the front of the room. Lowering your left hand to the mat, bring your left knee back onto the mat. Checking in with your hands before we work into our first downward facing dog of the day. Spread the fingers wide, line up the wrist crease with the front edge of the mat. Start tucking your toes, inner elbow creases, pull them forward, lift the hips up and back, come into your first down dog. Nice shoulder opening stretch. Right, down dog is an inversion, so it does help to decompress the lower back. Feel free if you like to maybe walk out the feet a little, pedal out the heels. On a big inhale, lift up your heels high. On the exhale, soften the heels back toward the mat. Let's put a little bend in the knees. Walk your hands back to your feet so you're folding over the legs toward the back of the mat. Roll up slowly to stand, keeping a small bend in the knees as you uncurl all the way up. Chest up, shoulders back, palms slightly forward. Bring both palms together at the heart center and just take a moment, closing the eyes once again, tuning in again to the breath, checking in. And you're welcome to join me in chanting one Om at the start of our practice here, starting with a deep breath in. Exhaling the air out. Inhaling for Om. Start to open up the eyes. We'll settle into a nice tree pose, Vrikshasana. Shift your weight to the right leg. Turn the left toes out. You can hold it here with your foot on the mat, keeping the stability a little bit easier. If you choose, you can step the left foot inside the right leg below the knee. If the hips feel good to do so, you certainly can slide the foot to the inside of your right thigh, lengthening the tailbone down, chest up. Look at one point past the end of the nose. That'll help with your balance. Make sure the breath is moving. On your next inhale, lift the arms overhead, separate the hands, pressing down through the right leg, lifting up. Let the shoulders soften away from the ears. Let the palms return together again at the heart. Your left foot to the mat, switch sides. Shift your weight to the left leg, turn the right toes out. Either keeping your right foot here or stepping the foot inside the left leg, above or below the knee. Just making sure your foot avoids pressing directly on the side of the knee. Finding your drishti, that's your focal point, pressing down. Big inhale, lift the arms, separate the hands. Give it one more deep breath. Returning palms together again at the heart center. Lower your right foot toward the mat. Your feet just about hip width distance apart. Big inhale, sweep the arms down, around, up, overhead. Exhale, dive over the legs. Let the knees bend if they need. Down dog, walk your hands back all the way out. On your next inhale, bring it forward into a plank pose, high push-up. And lower your knees, chest and shin to the mat. Keep the elbows close in. Untuck the toes. Slide it through into low cobra. Return to your down dog. Tuck the toes, hips up and back. And in your down dog, you're either looking back at your knees, you can look at your feet, and of course, you're always welcome to modify in a child's pose. Let's put a little bend in the knees from here. Start looking forward. Step your feet to the front of the mat. As you fold over the legs, front of the mat, keep the feet again hip width distance apart. That's approximately the space of 2 fist distance between the feet. Let your head drop down. Reach both arms behind your back. Interlace all 10 fingers. Let the arms reach toward the sky. You can bend the knees as deep as you like. Nice deep breaths. Let it go. Let your arms drop down toward the mat. One more time. Let's roll up slowly to stand. Just uncurling all the way up. Drop the shoulders back, palms slightly forward, Tadasana. Big inhale, sweep the arms around and up overhead. Exhaling, dive over the legs. Lifting up your chest on the inhale, maybe palms to shins. Step your left foot back in a low lunge. Lower the back knee down. Bring both hands to your right thigh. Making sure your right heel stays firmly on the mat. You can tuck or untuck the back toes. If it feels good, the hips can sink in a little bit. Sweep the arms all the way up overhead. If it feels good on the neck, look up between the hands. If you'd like another little shoulder opener here, bring both arms behind the back. Interlace all 10 fingers again. So the shoulders drop back, the heart opens forward. Nice deep breath. Returning both hands to the mat. Keep the left hand down. Lift the right arm, coming into a low lunge twist. And if it suits you, lift your back knee off the mat. If you like maybe a block under the left hand to give you a little bit more height here, turning your head to the right, look up at your fingertips if you can. Take one more deep breath in. Exhaling, lower the right hand, down dog, step your right foot back. You're welcome to hold a down dog. You can take child's pose. If you'd like to flow through, you can take your plank on the inhale, maybe chaturanga, or drop the knees to modify. Upward facing dog, so the shoulders line up over the wrist. Let's meet in down dog again, hips up and back. One more deep breath. From your down dog, little bend in the knees, look forward through the hands. Walk your feet up to the front of the mat, folding over the legs. On your inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Exhaling, round it down, fold over the legs. Big inhale, sweep the arms around and up. Lift up out of the waist as you reach. Look up at your thumbs. Exhale, dive over the legs. Soften the knees again if you need. Big inhale, lifting the chest, lengthen the spine. Exhale, the right foot back, lower the back knee. Hands to your left thigh. Making sure your left heel is firmly anchored on the mat. You're tucking or untucking the back toes, whatever feels better here on the back knee. Sweep the arms up, looking up if you can. If it feels good, the hips can sink in. If you did it on the first side, the arms behind the back, change the grip if you're interlacing fingers so your opposite pinky finger rests on top, shoulders back, heart opening forward. Give it one more breath. Lower the hands to the mat. Take your twist. Your right hand stays down, picking up the left arm. And of course, you're welcome to lift the back knee up off the mat. Keep the breath moving. Look up one more time. Inhale. Exhaling, lower your left hand, down dog. Step the left foot back. Once again, you can hold down dog. You can take a little breather in child's pose or flow through on the inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga halfway. Upward facing dog. Let's all meet in child's pose. Lower the knees, toes together, hips to heels. You can reach your arms forward or relax the arms back behind you. Let's give it one more deep breath. Let's return up onto hands and knees. Start tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Little bend in the knees, looking forward. Walk or maybe hop the feet up to the front of the mat if that's in your practice. Lift the chest big. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round down as you fold. Stepping your feet all the way together, toes and heels side by side. Let's bend the knees, sit into chair pose. So your fingertips reach toward the mat. Lift the arms. If you can, let the eyes look up. You don't have to turn your head if that's going to be deep on the neck. Let's give it one more deep breath in. Exhale, dive over the legs. Step your left foot back in a low lunge, working into warrior one. Turn the back heel at a 45-degree angle. Keep the front knee bending. Sweep the arms up. Yeah. Drop the shoulders. Let's give ourselves another little hug. Take your left arm, wrap it underneath the right. Hands to opposite shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Keep the right knee bending as you exhale. Round it down, and you can either rest over on top of the right leg, or you can go slightly inside the right knee if that feels like a nice hip stretch. Let's take one more breath. Press through the legs, nice and easy. Inhale, come up, sweep your arms around overhead. Let's come into warrior two. Bring both arms out to the side. Your right knee pointing forward, making sure the right knee tracks over the second and third toe. You should be able to see your big right toe. Arms are parallel to the floor. Keep the breath moving. Let's go right into side angle pose. Bend the right elbow, bring it onto the right thigh. Sweep the left arm down, around and up over the left ear. If you have an advanced practice, you're welcome to work into any variations. You can straighten the right arm toward the floor. If you take the shoulder openers, wrap the left arm around the lower back, making sure your right ear avoids collapsing on the shoulder. Lift, keep it nice and active without forcing the stretch. One more breath. Come to warrior two, bring the left arm back, arms out, reverse the warrior, sweep the right arm over. Windmill, both hands to the mat, low lunge, turn on the back toes. You can keep the back knee lifted or lower it down again. Return to your twist. The left hand stays down. Pick up the right arm. One more breath. Lower the right hand to the mat. Step forward to the front of your mat again. Fold over the legs. Heel toe your feet all the way back together. Bend the knees so the hips drop down, fingertips reach toward the mat. Utkatasana, chair pose. Lengthening along the spine, maybe look up between the hands. Again, even if it's just the eyes looking up, that's okay. One more deep breath in. Exhaling, dive over the legs, head down, the right foot, step it back in a low lunge. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana, the right heel, 45-degree angle. Lift the arms, reach all the way up, let your legs press all the way down. Giving ourselves another little hug. Take your right arm, wrap it under your left, hands to opposite shoulders. Big inhale. Exhaling, bend the left knee a little deeper if you can, round it down. Right, it's okay to, be kind to yourself, to show yourself a little love. Let's take one more breath. On the inhale, press through the legs, chest up, arms, sweep them around and overhead. Warrior 2, bring your arms out to the side. The left knee bending deep, look over your left middle finger. Tailbone down, the shoulders line up over the hips. Keep the breath moving one more time. Side angle pose, left elbow to the left thigh, sweep the right arm down, around and up. Lengthen the tailbone down the back leg. Looking either up the right arm. If you're taking the shoulder opener, if you did that on the first side, then your gaze is resting over the right shoulder. Let the tailbone lengthen. Chest up, drop the left shoulder down. One more breath. Bring it back for warrior 2, right arm back, left arm out, reverse the warrior, left arm, sweep it over. Windmill both hands to the mat, low lunge, down dog, step your left foot back. Again, you can hold down dog if you want to go right into a child's pose, you're welcome, or inhale, take it to plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Upward facing dog, tops of the feet on the mat. Bringing it back to your downward facing dog. Hold for one more breath. A little bend in the knees. Look forward through the hands. Step feet up to the front of the mat. Feet slightly separated. Little bend in the knees. Take your hands to opposite elbows, folding over the legs. Coming into a nice, easy ragdoll pose. You're welcome to bend the knees a little or a lot. And maybe it feels good to nod the head or shake the head, yes, no. Sway a little side to side. Just letting everything that you can go. All right, just let it roll off. Switch the hands so the opposite hand is resting on top. One more breath. Let your arms relax toward the mat. Heel toe the feet all the way back together again. Bend the knees nice and deep, sitting into chair pose. Lift the arms. Bring both palms to prayer at the heart. Take a twist to the right. Bring your left elbow outside the right knee. Lift the chest. Thumbs at your heart center. Try looking over the right shoulder. Give it one more deep breath. On your inhale, return to center. Dive over the legs. With your exhale, step the left leg back in a low lunge. Bring your right hand inside the right foot. Pivot toward the left. Walk your hands through the center. Bring the right toes in. Your feet parallel to each other but wide apart, 3 to 4 feet apart. Prasarita Padottanasana. If the knees need to bend, let them bend. If your legs are straight, remember a micro bend in the knees so that we keep the muscles supporting your knee joints nice and active, right? If you need blocks under the hands, you can slide them under here. Let's give it one more deep breath. Good. Start to bend up the knees. Lift the chest. Inhale. As you exhale, fold over the legs. Straighten out the legs a little bit. Crown of the head to the mat. Inhaling, bending the knees. Lift the chest. Exhaling, straighten around. We'll do that one more time. Inhaling. Exhaling. This time, start to lift up the chest. Bring your hands to your waist with a flat back. Take your time. Bring it all the way up to stand. Nice and easy. You don't want to come up too fast and get yourself a little dizzy. Turn the right toes forward, setting up triangle pose. Your back toes, turn them in a little bit, right? That's going to make it a little easier on the left leg, on the left hip. Reach the arms out to the side. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Turn the arms so the right hand lowers down the right leg, left arm high. Maybe the right hand rests on the shin. Maybe if the hand can work a little deeper, maybe even put a block under the hand. And again, if you like the shoulder opener, let your left arm wrap around the lower back. So your fingertips hook around the right thigh. Keep the chest up. Let's give it one more deep breath. Good. Then come back up with the arms out to the side. Rebend the right knee. Warrior two. Big inhale. On your exhale, windmill both hands to the opposite sides of your right foot in a low lunge. Your left toes tuck into the mat. Start to slowly, and maybe using blocks here under the hands, start to slowly straighten out your right leg. Another hamstring stretch. If you don't have blocks, and your front leg isn't ready to straighten, then don't straighten it. That's okay. All right, just be mindful. So you only need to go deep enough to feel the stretch. So if you have a soft bend in the knee, that's all right. Good. Take a deep breath in, low lunge, bend the right knee all the way, look forward. Exhale, straighten out, round over the right leg. Inhaling, bending the right knee, deep bend, chest up. Exhaling, round it down, head down. One more. Inhaling. Exhaling. We're releasing out, bending up at the right knee, low lunge. You can let go of the blocks if you're using them. Step forward to the front of the mat, fold over the legs with the head down. Bring your feet together, toes and heels touch. Fingertips reach toward the mat, bend the knees, sink the hips, Utkatasana, chair pose. Bring both palms to prayer at the heart. Keep sitting deep. Let's twist to the left side. Bring your right elbow outside the left knee. Lengthening the spine, thumbs at heart center. Deep breaths. One more full breath. On an inhale, return to center. Exhale, dive over the legs with the head down. Step your right foot back in a low lunge. Slide the left hand inside the left foot. Walk your hands to the right, coming into your wide-legged forward fold. The left toes come in with you. Both feet just about parallel to each other. Fold over the legs. Prasarita Padottanasana. If the knees need to bend, let them bend. If the legs are straight, remember a micro bend. Shoulders away from the ears. Just soften into the stretch, just leaning into the edges here. And start to bend the knees, lift the chest, big inhale. Exhale, straighten the legs, head down as you round. Two more, inhaling. Exhaling. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Start to lift up the chest, lengthen the spine, bring your hands to the waist with a flat back, nice and easy. Press up to stand. Good. Turn the left toes to the front of the mat. Bring the right toes in a little bit, setting up triangle, Trikonasana. Turn the arms out. Turn the arms all the way. So the left hand lowers toward the left leg, toward the mat, right arm high. Your right arm stacks right on top of the left. So if your left hand is on the shin, making sure that you're not putting all your weight there. You want to make sure that it's just a light, just a little resting spot. So you could actually lift the hand and it doesn't affect the rest of your alignment, or block under the left hand. Turn your head if you can. Look up at the right fingertips. Give it one more deep breath. Press through the legs, come all the way up. Warrior two, rebend the left knee. Windmill both hands to the mat, low lunge. Turn on your back toes, using blocks if you need to. Maybe if you used them on the first side, maybe you need them here. Maybe you don't even need them on the second side. It wouldn't be that unusual if one side was different than the other, right? We tend to hold tension more on one side than the other. One side tends to be tighter than the other. So you can use blocks or skip the blocks. Low lunge with the left knee bending. Start to slowly straighten the left leg, rounding down. Just let the head soften down. Again, if the front knee needs to bend, let it. Inhaling, low lunge, look forward. Exhaling, straighten, head down. Two more. One more time. Good, low lunge, bending up at the left knee. You can let go of the blocks, step all the way to the front of the mat, folding over the legs with your feet hip width distance apart. Feet just about two fist distance apart. I think I said that. Padangusthasana, grab your big toes in yogi toe lock. First two fingers of each hand. Start lifting the chest on the inhale, lengthen. Then exhale, drop the head down as you fold. And if you're modifying here, you're just going to come back to ragdoll, hands to opposite elbows with the head dropping down. One more deep breath. Start to lift the chest on the inhale. Exhaling, releasing out the hands from the feet. Padahastasana, hand to foot pose. Start to lift the feet. Lift the toes, slide the hands under. As you exhale, drop the toes down, head down, rounding over the legs. One more breath. Big inhale, lift the chest. Exhaling, releasing out the hands from the feet. Bring your hands to the waist, and with a flat back, press up slow, all the way to stand. Come all the way up. Let your arms relax down by your sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. We'll do one more standing balance pose before coming all the way down onto the mat, doing Natarajasana, dancer pose. So I said this was going to be a gentle class, but I like to always do at least one challenging balance pose. So we can do this in stages, and you're going to do this where you feel is a reasonable realm of motion for you today. Starting with both hands on your waist, shifting your weight to the right leg. Pick up your left palm, lift the left foot behind you, grab onto the inside of your left foot. So this is an inside grip. If your hand is on the outside, right, the tendency for the left knee to splay out to the side is greater than if you're going inside, okay? Bring both knees together. Chest up, your tailbone lengthens down the right leg, looking straight past the end of the nose. That's going to really help keep you balanced here. Lift the right arm up. So maybe you're right here. That's fine, because it's never super easy to balance on one leg. So feel free to be here. If you want to work it a little bit deeper, the option is kicking into your left hand. Now your left shoulder starts to draw back. Your left shoulder opens. Keep looking straight ahead at one fixed point. Then, when you feel like your back bend is getting nice and deep, pull the right arm all the way forward as you continue kicking into your left hand. So your right arm reaches straight ahead on the horizon where your gaze is. Kicking into the left hand, let's give it one more deep breath. Start to slowly release. Come all the way up. Make sure the breath is moving. Lower your left foot. Lower the right arm by your side. Feel free to shake it out a little bit. We're going to go the other way. hands to the waist. Shift your weight to the left leg. Pick up your right palm. Pick up the right foot behind you. Hand to the inside of your right foot. Bring the knees together. Zip it up nice and tight, tailbone down, chest up, lifting out of the waist. Find your focal point, your drishti. Lift the left arm high. You can hold here or kick into your right hand. Get the back bend, get the shoulder opener. Keep looking straight ahead, and if you're going for it, pull the left arm forward. Kick into the right hand, deepening the back bend. Keep the breath moving. Keep kicking, keep lifting. Make sure the breath moves one more time. Slowly start to come all the way back up. Lower the right foot, lower the left arm, shake it off a little bit. All right, with your feet still about hip width distance apart, press down through the legs. Inhale, sweep the arms up and over. Exhale, dive over the legs. Soften the knees if you need. Head down. Big inhale, chest up, maybe palms to shins. Exhaling, step your feet to plank pose. Lower to chaturanga, halfway, or drop the knees to modify. Inhale to your back bend, cobra or up dog. Bring it back to downward facing dog. Good. Let's roll forward again to plank. Let's do some side plank, Vashisthasana. Roll to your outer right foot. Face the left side of the room. Your left leg stacks on top of the right. Lifting the left arm. You can always modify. Do it as we did at the beginning of our practice, right? With the right knee down. If you have an advanced practice and you like to challenge yourself, you can float the left leg up. Side tree pose. Lots of different variations. Just take your time. Let's give it one more deep breath. Lower the top arm down, return to center, go the other way. Roll to your outer left foot, right leg stacks on top. Right arm up. Modify any way you choose. Try to do the same thing you did on the first side. One more deep breath. Return your right hand to the mat. Good. Bring it back to downward facing dog. Take a little child's pose, knees down. Knees separated, toes together. You could reach arms forward or relax the arms back behind you. Checking in with the breath again. Let's give it another deep breath or two. Good. Reach the arms straight forward on the mat if they're not already, and lift the head up a little bit. We're going to do a little shoulder release, shoulder stretch release. Modified threading the needle. Take your right arm, slide it onto the left, and bring your right shoulder to the mat, and your head is down. Right? So in a regular threading the needle, your hips would be lifted a little bit higher. And if you want to do that, feel free. But this just might feel like a nice release for the outer right shoulder. One more deep breath. Then come back with your right arm straight forward. Lift the head up. Left arm threaded onto the right side. Bring your head down. Turn your head to the right. Just letting your head relax down on the mat. One more deep breath. Good. Then come back to center. All right, come up onto your hands and knees. Have a seat. Roll down onto your back. Let's first do a little bit of bridge pose. So we'll we'll do a bridge pose. We'll do one long set of bridge pose for 5 deep breaths. If you would prefer to go restorative, you can take a block under the lower back, or you can roll up a blanket or a bolster if you want to do something a little more gentle, right? But if not, you can keep it active. Press your arms, elbows down onto the mat. Your feet are separating hip width distance apart. All 10 toes point forward. Press down through the legs, lift up, and the shoulders kind of roll back a little bit. Yeah. So keeping the knees pointing forward, let the toes rest nice and easy on the mat. So we're neither gripping the toes on the mat nor lifting the toes. Let the breath move. Two more deep breaths. One more time. Start to return your hips down. Hug the knees in toward the chest. If it feels good, maybe rock a little bit side to side. Maybe a happy baby pose if that feels good on the lower back. Bring your feet to the mat. Let's release once again, adding a little hip stretch. Coming into a reverse figure 4, bring your right ankle above the left knee. Maybe this is deep enough, right? Maybe stay here today. You can also take your right hand to the right inner leg there, right? To kind of keep everything stable. Or you're bringing the left leg in, interlace fingers behind the left hamstring, right? Very important point, if and only if your knee is feeling good, you can deepen this stretch by interlacing all 10 fingers outside the left shin. But please, again, be mindful, be kind to yourself, right? That's what this practice is all about. Right? We want to be able to enjoy a little stretch, open up some space, in as joyful a way as possible, right? So that's the key word, joyful. So if you're forcing a stretch, moving against the natural grain of the body, that becomes less joyful. Let's take one more deep breath. Releasing out, bring both feet back to the mat, go the other way. Take your left ankle above the right knee. Maybe hold here with your left hand to the inside of the left leg, or hug your right leg in, interlace all 10 fingers behind the right hamstring. All right, flex the feet, and once again, if and only if your knee is good on the right side, then you can interlace all 10 fingers outside the right shin. Deep breaths. One more time. Start releasing out. Bring both feet back onto your mat. Roll onto your left side. Lift the head up, the chest up, bending at your left elbow. So your left forearm is on the mat. Your right leg stacks on top of the left, okay? So your right hand, just let it rest nice and easy here on the mat. Pick up your right leg, pointing your right toes up toward the sky. Bring your right leg all the way out towards 3 o'clock, okay? Now, from here, settle all the way down onto your left side, bend your left elbow. Option 1, rest your head in your hand, right? Option 2, you can lower all the way, let your head rest on your arm, okay? From here, your bottom leg, that's your left leg, bend the knee, take your top arm, grab the left foot. So bring the left leg back a tiny bit, just enough until you feel your left quadricep engage. So we get a little bit of a hip stretch, a little bit of a spinal twist, nice quad stretch. One more breath. Let go of your bottom foot. Straighten out the leg. Take your bottom arm, that's your left arm. Reach it out in the same direction as your top leg. Drop your right arm back, coming into a nice deep twist. So you can either keep looking over the left shoulder or turn your head looking up toward the sky. Let the breath move one more time. Come all the way onto your back, bend the right knee, roll onto your back, hug the knees in. Go the other way, roll onto your right side. So roll on the right side, right arm down, right elbow, forearm on the mat. Your left leg rests on top. Pick up the left leg, point your toes all the way up toward the sky. A little bit of a hip stretch right here. Bring your left leg all the way out toward 9 o'clock. Bring your right arm all the way down, either head in your right hand resting here, or relax your right ear all the way down on the arm. Your bottom leg, it's your right leg. Take your left hand, grab the right foot. I like to flex the right foot so I'm curling the toes, right? Pressing my right heel away. I lengthen my tailbone a little bit here. So when I really engage the right leg and bring the right leg back a little, it focuses the stretch on the top of the right leg, the quadricep. Because if you're just kind of like softening into the stretch, the danger is getting into the lower back and or not getting the quad stretch. So you want to, activate the bottom leg. All right, lengthen the tailbone, almost like scooping it under a tiny bit, right? You don't really want to round the lower back in. One more deep breath. And letting go of your bottom foot, take your left arm. Well, I'm just taking my left hand to release onto the mat. Your bottom arm, which is your right arm, reach it all the way out in the same direction as your extending leg. Take your top arm, your left arm, drop it all the way back. Reach the left arm out so your torso opens up toward the sky. You're either looking over the right shoulder or looking up toward the ceiling. Let's give it one more deep breath. Let's roll onto the back again. Hug the knees in toward the chest. Rocking a little bit side to side. Happy baby pose if you like. As we continue winding things down, I know we started a few minutes late today, so I'm going to run just a few minutes over by 5 minutes. So I hope you can stick around at least for Shavasana. From here, bring the soles of the feet together, let your knees drop out, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. Please use blocks or rolled up blankets underneath the knees or the outer legs if the hips are particularly tight here. You shouldn't feel any sort of sharp pulling sensation, right? Again, we want to, ease into the stretch. And letting your hands rest on the legs. You can either keep the hands here or palms on the belly, or maybe let your arms drop out toward the side. Just give yourself a few deep breaths. And if it feels good to do so, you're welcome to remain right here. It's a nice restorative stretch using gravity to get the benefits here. The other option, if you like, before settling into Shavasana, taking a brief inversion. If you have an advanced practice and you like to do headstand Shirshasana, you can take headstand or shoulder stand Sarvangasana, lifting the legs up as long as you're not working through any active head, neck, shoulder injuries, right? Catch the lower back, legs up, right? Only looking up at your feet, please, please, please. Keep the head right here. If you're going semi-restorative, My personal favorite is using a block or a bolster under the lower back, under the sacrum. All right, finding a comfortable spot, raise the legs, heels lining up over the hips with your arms dropping out to the sides. Wherever you are, just let the breath move. And of course, practicing in your own home, assuming that's what you're doing, you can take your mat to the wall, go full restorative, legs up the wall. Let's give it another 2 to 3 deep breaths. Keeping it focused, stay present. Good. If you're upside down, start to release out. If you're in headstand, you'll go right into a child's pose. Shoulder stand, you can roll out on your back. If you're in the hip stretch, fold the knees together, hug the knees in, rock a little side to side. So if you're in shoulder stand or any of those modified variations, you can stay on your back for fish pose. Matsyasana, you're welcome to take a block or rolled up blanket between the shoulder blades to do the same thing. Right? Again, one of my personal favorites, just to go more restorative. Right? I don't know about you, but I find a lot of activity in my day-to-day life and always running around and doing the complicated things. So when I have the opportunity to do something uncomplicated, I prefer. But find your way. Give it another 2 or 3 deep breaths. And start to release out. If you're in child's pose, you'll release and return onto your back, and everyone else, just let go, come onto your back, bring the knees again in toward the chest, taking any final little stretch or twist before settling into a little shavasana. Let the legs extend out on the mat. Separating the feet, let the toes drop out, let the arms drop out with the palms facing up. Closing the eyes. Maybe grab a blanket if you like to cover yourself so you don't get too chilly. Resting here. I slid blocks under my knees to help release out my lower back. Feel free to do something like that. Closing the eyes, let go of the Ujjayi breath. Begin lengthening the breath, gradually returning awareness to the body, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. Maybe gently roll the head side to side. Reaching the arms overhead, enjoy a nice waking stretch. Bring both knees in toward the chest. One more time. Rolling slowly over to the right side. Keeping the eyes closed a little while longer. Start coming back up to a comfortable seated position on the mat. Bringing both palms together at the heart. Soften your chin to your chest. Taking an opportunity, tuning in once again to the breath. Simply observing as the breath moves through the body. Bring your left hand again to the heart, right hand to the belly. Maybe checking in once again, revisiting the heartbeat, the breath. Observing any changes in the way it feels from when we first started an hour ago. Knowing this stillness is always here for you to tap into. Bring both palms together again at the heart. You're welcome to join me in chanting one Om as we seal our practice this afternoon, starting with a deep breath in, taking a deep breath out, inhaling for Om. Namaste. Thank you again for joining. Thank you again for staying tuned. I apologize about my technical difficulties at the beginning. If you did enjoy practice, please subscribe to my YouTube page. You can find me here. I regularly post videos, tutorials. I will be doing another live video again soon, another live broadcast. Smoother the next time, fingers crossed. Happy Mother's Day to you, to everyone you know that is a mother. If you've known a mom or had a mom, happy Mother's Day. Be well. I'll see you all soon.